Today I like to speak about branding strategies for corporates and more exactly about the new trend of post-globalized branding. We all know that a brand, in order to remain a brand, has to be different from the other brands, and this by spreading its own identity and its own message. Through the brands, we are indeed willing to express ourselves as individuals. This brand is representing me well. I do agree with its message. This is key, especially today. For example, we see since the tragic death of George Floyd in the US, the messages made by some of the biggest US brands, for example. The message for those brands has always been key, but it's even more key today. In other words, the brands have represented, at least until today, a tool, a way to create and strengthen our personal identities. The teenagers, for example, are creating their identity mainly through the brands they wear and use. And so, brands and identity are strongly linked. But speaking about identity, we have to be aware of a shift, a big shift, which is happening nowadays. If people are still asking for their individuality to be respected, people today are increasingly asking for the identity of their society, territory, community to be respected as well. And this new identity claim is happening through very different actions. It can be the Black Lives Matter protest in the US, but it can also be the vote for Brexit in the UK. Because in both cases, in fact, we are here speaking about collective identity. In other words, it's obvious, in terms of claims, the collective claims are increasing. We want the identity of here to be respected. We want our collective rights to be respected, etc., etc. It looks like the us, the we, is slowly but surely gaining power. And so identity is becoming a collective issue and not only a personal issue anymore. What I mean here is that the consumers of tomorrow might express themselves not only individually but also collectively as a community in the products they buy. And that will change a lot of things for the brands and the companies. Why? Because the objective here will be to have the consumers to appropriate collectively our brand. The idea, for example, is to have a global brand to become a local brand and not the brand of all the others. This is not the McDonald's of all the others. This is the McDonald's from here. This is ours, with our own values and our own employee from our territory. Is going to be, I bet, the kind of expectation in the near future. To summarize everything, the consumer of the future will be part of his tribe, and companies will have to deal with it. And the shift for the brand, again, will be huge. From shaping and spreading consumers' identity to receiving and integrating the consumer's identity. At Originals, my company, we help companies to better receive and integrate their consumers' identities by providing them cultural awareness and cultural skills.